Good morning. Welcome to Inner Balance Qigong. And we will begin with a breath awareness practice today. Coming into horse stance. This is balancing breath. And it's a really great practice to balance the energies of the body, the yin and the yang, as well as balancing the hemispheres of the brain and just the hemispheres of the whole body. Left side is associated with yin, right side is associated with yang. And it's also really wonderful for balancing the emotions. So if you ever find yourself where you feel like your emotions are kind of coming up, brimming up, and it feels like you would like a way to kind of settle them, quell them, not suppress them, but just give them a productive outlet, then this is a great practice to do this. So we'll begin bending the knees, tucking the tailbone slightly, and allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears. Become present in the body by becoming present to the breath. Observing the inflow and the outgo. Begin to sense the connection the body's making with the earth through the soles of the feet. And as you inhale, imagine you're drawing yin up from the earth, through the feet, the legs, fills the bowl of the pelvis, the region of the lower dantian. Exhale, anchor the energy there. Just for a few more cycles of breath, use this visualization. Inhale, drawing yin, this substantive energy, nurturing, supportive energy up through the legs, pooling it in the lower dantian. As you inhale, exhale, anchor the energy there. You could see it condensing into a small ball. Just another couple cycles of breath as a way to ground and center. I'll begin with balancing breath, and the arms are down alongside the body. You can turn your palms away. With the inhalation, arms start to rise. You can watch the hands as they come above the head, palms together. Exhale, hands come down to the heart center. And from here, with the next inhalation, we're going to raise the left arm as the right hand sinks down, fingertips facing up, both hands. Exhale, hands come back to the heart center. Switch sides. Inhale, the other arm goes up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. You want to slow the breath, slowing the movement. We'll finish this cycle alternating, and then the hands come back together with the exhalation to the heart. Now with the inhale, they'll rise, palms together up, looking up if that's comfortable. Exhale, arms release down from there to your sides. And you can bend your knees here, and then the hands will come together in front of the tailbone. Inhale, they go all the way up. Exhale, and sink down. Keep your hands in your focus. Even if you're just seeing them peripherally. One more. The hands rising. Now we're going to begin to turn the body. So we'll begin turning to the right, forward, and then come back to center. Inhale, turning to the left, sinking down, and we'll continue alternating in this way. Let's complete one more full cycle. Yin up from the earth, yang down from the heavens. Now we're going to inhale, arms go all the way up again, center line. Exhale, we're just going to bring them down and anchor the energy in the lower dantian. Pause here a moment, you might close your eyes and simply observe how the body feels as we begin to activate the chi flow, the blood flow. Now, this is similar to forms we've done before. This is both hands holding up heaven. And whereas in the past, we might have raised the arms just to shoulder height, we're going to be, if it's comfortable for you, we're going to raise them all the way up. And you might look up at your hands and maybe even come into a bit of an arch as we lift the heels. So if you would prefer to keep your heels down for stability, by all means do so. And it's easier to maintain your balance when you rise to the balls of your feet if your knees are slightly bent. And if you notice as you lift the heels that you start to roll to the outsides of your feet, press through the ball of your big toe to try to keep the weight more evenly distributed across the foot. All right, so we're going to, with both hands, we're going to hold up heaven. So on the inhalation, we start to raise the heels as the arms also rise, and watch your hands as they lift and come to the apex, and then exhale, watching the hands slowly lower your heels. You're trying to do this sort of in sync, coming to the height of the lift of your heels with the height of the lift of your hands. Lowering slowly. Explore 2 more cycles. And release. And you can rise back just to a neutral position and anchor the energy in the dantian. So you might notice in the forms that we practice where the heels are lifted, the knees are bent, that you're activating the muscles in your thighs, your quadriceps, so then you're firing. And so you might feel some sensation there. And that just is the energy flowing into that region, the blood flowing into that region to support the movement. So now we're going to explore a form called circling palms. And we're going to, with the inhalation, raise the arms just a little bit wider, the hands, and the hands are a little bit wider than shoulders distance. With the exhalation, we're going to turn the palms up, elbows are slightly bent. And we're going to, it's like you're holding a ball in your hand, and we're going to start to circle just with the wrists here, holding the ball, finding range of motion in the wrists. And then pause and go the opposite direction. And pause. Next exhalation, slowly lower the hands down. Now we're going to raise them up again, inhaling. Exhale, slightly bend the elbows. The palms are down now, cupping the ball and rotating through the wrist action here. And go the opposite way. snap, crackle, pop in my left wrist. And we'll pause. And then with the next exhalation, direct the energy down. So anytime the palms are up, or the hands, this is a form where we're cultivating yang, because the yang energy is an upward and outward directional flow of energy. And anytime the hands or palms are face down, we're cultivating yin. So that's just something to be conscious of as we're exploring different forms. So now we're going to explore some movement through the shoulders, and you'll adjust this to the degree that feels good in your body. And we're going to bring the left shoulder up, and as you roll it forward, start to draw your right shoulder back, and you can bend down and even look toward the floor a little bit. And then the other shoulder comes up, and then we sink down. And you can just find a rotation. You want to rotate your body and your head as your arms move. And it's really just the shoulders. And there's no sort of right or wrong way to turn the body. We just want to create a little bit of a spinal twisting action as well as the shoulder action. So it's really, rather than lifting the hand or the elbow, you want to initiate the movement right in the shoulder socket. So let's pause where you are and then go in the opposite direction. So the whole body is kind of getting into it. The knees are bending, movement a bit in the hips, ankles, certainly the spine. You can lean forward, lean back a little bit if that feels comfortable, and certainly go at a pace that feels good to you. You might pick up the pace a little bit or make your movements a little bit slower and more pronounced. And then we'll start to slow the movement down, come back to stillness. Again, let's draw the focus within. Close the eyes, tune into the breath, consciously slow it down. Breathing in and out of the nose. Notice sensation within the body. Now we're going to move on to some more spinal movement, spinal breathing, this is called. And we'll start in horse stance. With the inhalation, the arms come up and palms are open. And there's a 90-degree angle at the elbow. If that's comfortable, they could be a little bit lower. And then with the exhalation, we're going to slowly start to make fists with the hands, bringing the wrists and the elbows together, and then sink your chin down and draw your elbows in toward your navel as your tailbone lifts behind you. And then inhale, start to open, hands open, arch the back here looking up. This is where the tailbone lifts, I should say. Exhale, tailbone tucks forward as the chin drops down. And I'll turn sideways, you can see from this angle. And you'll modify as necessary, particularly with the back bend part of the cycle. But regardless, you're finding a way of moving in your body that gives you the greatest sense of ease and comfort. Breath supporting. As you open, draw the shoulder blades toward one another. We'll explore one more cycle here. Next time we fold forward, we'll pause, drop the arms below the shoulders, and we're going to reach for the floor with one hand and then the other, shifting the weight from one side to the other. So your arms are kind of like pistons in an engine. And then we can pulse a little bit faster if that's comfortable. And you can even just get the shimmy shake going really fast if that feels good. We loosen the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, even the head can turn from side to side. And then slow it down and gradually rise back up. And you certainly can do the same action without folding forward. Slow it down. Come to stillness. And you might feel the chi wanting to continue to move in the body. And I invite you to let it. Even though I say come back to stillness, you can continue to explore the movement as long as it feels good. Just ride the wave of the chi. All right, now we're going to be holding up the mountain. This is crossing legs. And so we've done many forms where we lift the leg and we cross in front. And as I've said before, you can bring your feet one heel to toe, one in front of the other, feet very close together, or keep the feet at about hip bones distance apart. When we cross the one leg in front of the other and squat, the back knee is pushing into one of the acupuncture points on the back of the front leg. And this is called Chengshan, and it's the name translates to holding a mountain. So this is one of the it's on the urinary bladder meridian, and it's very good for our longevity. Urinary bladder and the kidney energy make a organ system, and so we're supporting the Jing, which is our life force energy when we activate this acupuncture point. Okay, so we're in A stance, feet are hip bones distance apart. It's a very simple movement, and we're going to repeat it. Traditionally, it's 9 times on a side, but you can explore it for as many as feels good. Typically in the Chinese or Qigong culture, they're rather, in the Western culture, we'll do, an even number of cycles or repetitions. In the Chinese culture, they tend to do an odd number. So you can do 3, 5, 7, 9, whatever feels right for you. Okay, so we're going to shift the weight to the right leg first, and the left arm and left leg are going to rise. And then with the exhalation, the palm sinks down as we cross in front, and then we're bringing the energy down to the lower dantian. So then the hand will come out, going to lift the leg again, lift it as high as you can, inhale, exhale, knee in front of the other if you can, and squat. Feel the back knee pressing into that point right on the back of your upper calf. This arm can be a little bit farther away from the body, could even be over at a wall or at a chair to keep you more stable. Let's just aim for 7 today. And gaze at something neutral, at the floor, rather than at the screen watching me, because I'm moving and that can throw off your balance. Okay, now we're going to both hands. Inhale, woo, I gotta look at the floor. Exhale, and release the hands down. Just pause for a moment. Observe how the body feels. Notice how the one side of your body feels in relation to the other. Now we're going to explore the same movement on the other side. So just tune in as we're going through the practice of this particular form, and notice if one side of the body feels like you have greater stability, greater level of balance, and just be aware. There's no judgment. It's just beginning to learn how your body's responding to the movement, and if there are any areas of greater tension that you may be holding, resistance, just opening up our awareness to these internal happenings. So we're going to shift the weight, lift the heel, just to kind of get all the weight sinking down into this leg. This left leg is slightly bent. And then we'll inhale, start to raise the right as high as you can comfortably with the arm. Step across and sink down if you can, and find your footing and whatever. And even so, let's just say your feet are side by side and you're not accessing that acupuncture point. Just bring your awareness to the top of your calf and right to sort of the inside of the knee. Let's do 2 more. Squatting down as deeply as you can, attempting to feel the back knee press into the back of your front knee. So now, arms down alongside, both hands start to rise to lift you up with the leg, and then exhale and step out. Pause again. Notice if there's a greater sense of balance between the two sides of the body, as we've now completed that form on both sides. Now we're going to explore some more balance, and we're going to be shifting the weight. We'll start with the left leg as the standing leg this time, and the arms are going to rise up to about shoulder height. You can keep them at whatever level feels comfortable for you, but no higher than shoulder height. And we're going to be shifting the weight into the left leg. Inhale, the right leg starts to lift behind us as high as you can. Keep your front leg slightly bent, and then lower your arms, exhaling. Inhale, they lift. Exhale, they lower. Feel the movement in the ankle of the standing leg. Allow that to continue. We'll do 2 more. Inhale deeply, exhale, lower the leg. Weight is evenly distributed. Notice how your left leg feels in relation to your right. Might feel a lot more kind of activity in that leg. That means the energy's flowing there because it's necessary to help to keep you up. Like all those cells need that energy to be able to support the body when we're exploring this balancing practice. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This is called moonlight leg. So the leg lifting in the back creates this kind of crescent shape with the body. So we're going to shift the weight now to the right. So we're lifting the leg, and with your exhalation, slowly lower. Inhale. Exhale. Gazing at the floor for balance. Let's just do 1 more. And then you can step out. So Again, observe, how does the body feel? We'll turn the feet out slightly here. We've been directing a lot of energy down into the lower body, so we'll lift the heel, alternating to release any turbid chi that's collected down in the ankles and feet. And then bring the feet parallel. We'll shift the weight and flexing the foot, shake from hip to heel. And we'll come back to horse stance. Now we're going to be looking into the well. And this movement involves back bending and forward bending. And as we forward bend, we're hinging from the hips. Pelvis is starting to tilt forward. And you want to tune into your hamstrings at the back of your thighs and notice if you feel, when you feel a bit of a tug, that your muscles are kind of stretched to their capacity. And that's when it's really wise to bend your knees. Because if we don't, we send the tension that's in the back of the legs up into the lower back if we keep the legs extended. So you might, if you have, fairly good range of motion there, it might just feel like a really nice stretch. But if there's a challenge to get the hands toward the floor, then bending the knees is a better choice. So that's the intention, is to get our hands to the floor, or the fingertips initially, and then the knuckles. So we're going to start with an open palm, hands in front of the thighs, looking into the well. So we're going to inhale, watch your hands as they start to rise up, and they'll lift above the head and arch the back. And then with the exhalation, they lower, and keeping the gaze at the level of the hands, let your fingertips touch the floor, or maybe a chair in front of you. And then bend your knees, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, rise up with bent knees. Arch the back as deeply as you can, and then exhale forward. Fingertips grazing the floor. Tailbone tucks, bend the knees, inhale, rise up. This puts less strain on the lower back. If you feel like your back is strong, you could come up with an extended spine, lengthening from the tailbone up and out through the crown of the head. So that's another way you could explore the movement. Let's explore one more with open palm. Hands, fingers can even graze past your feet. This time, arms up. And then with the exhalation, slowly the palms turn down, directing the energy down to the lower dantian. We'll pause here, bring the awareness into the spine, the back body, particularly the back of your thighs. See how you are able to detect the energy flow in those regions. Now the same action, and this time the hands will be in fists. So with this, as we fold forward, when the hands were open, gave us a little bit more length to be able to make contact with the floor. With the hands in the fist, we lose that extension of the fingers, so the intention is that we go a bit deeper into the forward bend. And of course, you'll bend your knees, adjust so that it feels comfortable for you. All right, off we go. Inhale, slowly start to make fists as your hands rise. Arching the back again. Exhale, hinge forward, slowly watch your hands in your peripheral vision, bending the knees if necessary, and coming up with bent knees, or you can explore the straight spine. And when you're coming up, regardless of whether your legs are extended or slightly bent or deeply bent, push into the earth through the soles of your feet. Let the strength of the lower body rebound you away. This will be the last one. We'll rise, hands above the head, palms open, direct the energy down to lower dantian. Tune in, observe how the body feels. So as we open the front body into a back bend, we are, you could say, well, certainly stretching muscles on the front of the body. We're also stretching the meridians that are on the front of the body, the energetic pathways. And that, and then as we fold forward, we're stretching the ones on the back. But we're going back and then we're going forward, back and forward. So it creates this expansion and condensing action, sort of a massage. You could think of it that way. So we're kind of massaging the meridians and opening up those channels, creating a greater flow of the life force, the qi, by breaking up stagnancy of energy. And we're going to continue now. This is brushing the knee and holding up heaven. And so we're going to start with the feet a little bit closer. We'll be shifting the weight to the right leg first and lifting the left and stepping forward into a lunge, similar to kind of how we were exploring some movement the last class. So with the inhale, the hands will rise. Exhale, we're going to push forward with both hands. And then we're going to raise this will be the left hand as the right hand drops, and then arch the back. Exhale, arms come forward back to where they were. Bend the back leg. Inhale, bring the energy in, stepping back, or with the foot right raised, and then exhale, sink it down. So let's try that on the other side. We're going to alternate. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, bend your front leg. Turn the back foot out slightly if that's more comfortable. We're going to inhale, one arm up, arch. Exhale, both hands back where they were. And then bend your back leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, and release down. Let's try that again on the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms separate. Palms press away from each other. So lower hand, palm presses down. Upper hand, palm presses up. And then the hands come back forward. Exhale. Shift your weight to the back leg. Palms turn toward you. Inhale. Exhale. And turn sideways. Let's see. Finish this side. And energy comes back in and release down. Pause. Tune in. Breathe and observe. All right. Now we're going to flow into another balancing form. This is parting, grass, and searching. Similar in the foot orientation that we were crossing the one leg in front of the other, or heel to toe, feet close, or about hip bones distance. So this is kind of similar to parting tall grass. It's just a different orientation of the arms. So we're going to, on the inhale, let the arms come all the way up as we lift the left leg, palms together. Exhale, cross and place your feet wherever they are, and then separate the heels of the hands until the backs of your hands are touching. And then we're going to inhale, turn, and look at the floor. You can kind of bend here, arms down. Exhale, come back to center, back to the hands touch. Put all the weight into your back leg, standing leg. Inhale, arms come up again, palms together. Exhale, and hands come to the heart center, sink down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands start to come down. Bending, connecting into that point on the back of your calf. Next inhale, open, turn, can bend here forward toward the floor. Exhale back to center. Inhale, weight goes in to the left leg. Exhale, sink down. Keep going. You can spread your arms as wide as you can, so the palms are lifting maybe to shoulder height. Pause here, hands at the heart center. Inhale, they go all the way up. Look up. Exhale, draw the energy down. Shoulders fall away from the ears. Sense your rootedness and the vital life force coursing through you. We'll come back to a stance. And we're exploring a lot of balancing in this practice today. You might want to observe just once, and then I'll start again on the same side, but we'll be alternating. So this is crossing forearms and stepping back. We're going to shift the weight to the right leg, lift the left heel first as the left arm starts to rise, then lift the whole foot as high as you can. We're going to step forward onto the ball of the front foot as we bring the left hand underneath the right at the wrist and lift your back heel. So that would be your right heel. And then you're going to shift your weight back to the right foot and then start to uncross your arms and lift your front leg. Hands rise up just to about shoulder height. Exhale and sink down. So now right leg lifts. Inhale with the arm. Look up if you can. Exhale. Hands come, the right hand is under the left. Weight is on the front foot, back heel lifted. Shift the weight to the back foot. Start to uncross and raise the arms with the hand, foot, rather. Exhale and sink down. Let's try that again. Both sides. Inhale. Watch the hand if you can. Exhale onto the ball of the foot, then the heel sinks, crossing that hand under the other. Weight shifts back. Exhale. Inhale. Uncross, hands rise. Exhale. Exhale. Shift the weight back. Lift the front foot. Inhale. And exhale. Pause here. For a moment of inner observation, eyes closed. Allowing your full focus to draw within the body. Observing the breath, slowing it down. All right. This is returning to the body. This next form, which also involves a lunge forward, and then shifting the weight to the back leg, straightening the front leg, and going down a bit into a forward bend. I'll demonstrate. We're going to start with the weight in the right leg first, and going to inhale, lift, arms come all the way up. Exhale and step forward. Inhale, shift your weight to the back leg, the ball of the front foot lifts. Arms come up. Exhale, back knee is bent as we bring the hands to the thigh, hinging forward as far as we can. And then inhale, all the way up. And sink down to the shoulders, exhale, and push forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, shift the weight down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, push forward. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, all the way up. And sink down, exhale, push forward. Inhale, hands come in. Exhale, step to the side. Inhale, step out, hands forward. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, down, hands to the knee. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Push forward. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, lunge to the front leg again, all the way up. And sink down, exhale, push forward. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, sit back, hands to the thigh, lift the ball of your foot. Shift the weight, inhale. Exhale, push forward. Let's go one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the hands in, inhale. Exhale. Pause here. Station identification. Slowing the breath, slowing the heart rate. Notice what you notice. Now we're going to come back to a stance. And so the feet are hip bones distance. And we're going to bring the heels closer together. So you can just lift the heels and then turn on the balls of your feet and lower the heels down. You want some space between your heels. This is another balancing practice. So you can just choose to do the arm movements, or you can raise and lower your heels as we go. And or just vary it to whatever makes sense for you. We're going to turn the palms away from the body, and with the inhalation, we're lifting the heels as we raise the arms above the head, palms together. Exhale, keep your heels lifted and bend your knees as deeply as you can as your hands come down to your heart center. Keep your heels lifted, extend up, inhale as you extend the legs. Exhale, now sink your heels as your hands lower down to your sides. And we repeat. Inhale. It's a very sort of balletic form, I think. Sink. With our pliés here. And I suppose you could practice this. It just occurs to me with the feet wider apart. Maybe we'll explore that on another occasion. A grand plié. And releve. I don't know all my ballet terms, but I think that's kind of what we're going for here a little bit. Now we're going to be turning the wheel of heaven. So we're going to take a wider stance. And this is kind of similar to our returning to the body form. We're going to let the fingertips face each other. With the inhale, hands start to rise to just below your sternum. Exhale, sink down. And we're going to inhale, hands rise up. Pivot on the ball of the foot, and then the hands, fingertips face behind you. We're going to trace the floor with the fingertips, the wall in front. Start to shift the weight to the back leg as your arms rise, and turn your body to a 45-degree angle, and then sit with the hands to the shoulders. Hands swing back. Inhale, trace all the way up to the sky. Exhale. Anchor yourself in the earth. Creating this circular motion, energy is flowing in the motion or in the direction that the hands are moving. Keeping your focus on your hands aligns your mind with the Qi and creates for a more potent experience. Let's explore one more this side. Pausing here, lift the ball of the front foot and pivot. Exhale, direct the energy down. Inhale, turning. Exhale, place the ball of your foot down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, and sink. Turn to face the wall your foot is facing. Inhale. Back, so I'm still in the frame here. Finish here. Bring energy back to the center and then anchoring it in the lower dantian. Pause, observe, come back to horse stance. Now we're going to explore a standing meditation, or you could practice this seated. We're going to be holding our arms in 3 different positions. Just quickly to show you, the first will be like you're holding a big basket or a big ball. Elbows are below the wrist, and both of those are below the shoulders. I mean, you could be up here, but it's more challenging, just requires more shoulder strength. Your hands could even be lower, but I'm gonna start with my hands about heart center level. Then the arms will come out, palms up, elbows slightly bent, hands maybe at neck height if that's comfortable, or a little bit lower. And then eventually arms are above the head and forward so that you can look up between your fingertips when the arms are here as well as up here, maybe looking through the fingertips. On the inhale, arms rise, holding your ball of chi. Exhale, you can bend your knees here slightly and you can go really low, but you might want to widen your stance. And we're gazing through the fingertips. With the inhalation, imagine drawing in from the earth up through the feet, the legs, through your trunk to your heart center. Exhale out from there, across the chest and back, down through your arms, flowing out through your fingertips. Each inhalation, drawing in from the earth to the heart. Exhale, let it flow down your arms and out through your fingertips into the space between them. Keeping the shoulder blades descending down the back. Next inhalation, spread the arms. Second position of the arms. Same visualization. Eyes might be closed or gaze at a neutral point out ahead of you. But trace with your awareness, your imagination, the energy moving along the pathway from the earth up through the legs, the heart center, exhaling out, down the arms through the fingertips. One more cycle in this arm position. Next inhalation, hands come above. And you can look up or just look straight ahead, or even gazing down toward the floor, keeping your chin parallel to the earth. Shoulder blades down the back. Toning the back muscles to support the lift of the arms on the front. Inhale one more time. And with the exhalation, bring the hands down slowly to the lower dantian. Notice how the body feels. So if you bent your legs rather, you could straighten them slightly. And let's turn the heels out again and lift. And then shake, keeping the foot flexed, hip to heel. And we're going to go back to the balancing breath that we began with, just for a few cycles. So we'll inhale, arms rise, palms up, together above the head. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, separating heaven and earth, and then returning them together. One more cycle. And then both hands up, inhale. Exhale, they release down, and we'll end with the bow. Taking hold of your left thumb, bringing energy to the 3 dantians, honoring the earth, drawing yin up to balance the energy of yang with yin.